You are in support of America invading Nigeria. 100%. Guns are blazing.
I said 100%. Since the government has refused to listen, and leaders are not even helping matters.
Wouldn't that affect the sovereignty of Nigeria?
That's the question I'm asking. You now have a sovereignty where terrorists are not telling you what to do, Abi. You now have a sovereignty where terrorists are on the dining table with government, telling government what to do, and leaders are supporting it in Moses. That's even my annoyance. Why would anybody utter such words? These are things you should frown at. Who brought them into Nigeria? Was Nigeria like this in 1999? Moses, please be sincere to yourself. Who brought them into Nigeria? What are they doing here? Why are they not in Ghana? Why are they not in Republic of Benin? Please, why are they not in South Africa? You can see, we forgot the genesis of our problem and we are blaming America. Let them come. If that will solve the problem. Since you people don't know what to do, let them come and help us. Look at now, as I'm talking to you now, almost 20 villages have been taken over in Plateau and Benue. Moses, who are those to occupy those villages? Are they Christians? The real indigenous of those states are now in IDP camp. And they are
Putin. Talk about Chowere, Ibrahim Chowere. You talk about China president. You talk about Korea president. These are men that we call leaders. A young man of yesterday, a Burkina Faso, a leader. That is what I call a leader. A young man that know what I call a leadership. Not put businessmen in government, calling them leaders, calling the president, senator, governor. These are businessmen acquiring money for their future of their children, buying houses for them. Leaders develop their country. Develop their country. And when they develop their country, everybody, both their children, everybody enjoyed. Today, American leaders has already put their structure in order. Their children are enjoying it. Everybody's enjoying it. Putin, they have already put their country in order. Everybody's enjoying. And they bugari moto, they bugari sare na ko gaga wuwo na internet. Ano katakwa for mebe tinubu na agba bugaro. If we ever bugaro, that is people that don't have anything to offer. If I calling him the president, tell me one thing. Any day you people tell me one thing Tinubu have done since he have entered this presidential seat as a president. I have told you people, and I have tell you this, what makes a leader, that when you say I am a leader, the first thing you will achieve in your country, the first thing to achieve in your country, the first thing you must put in your country is light. There are factories, 24 hours light. There are factories, there are companies. Those companies can never ever use Rista. They can never use Jane. Jane and Orista or whatever you call it can never carry the equipment of that factory or the company. The only thing that can carry it is NEPA. Nigeria is not there. Nigeria will never get close to the country that are talking about development. They are never near there. Nigeria is a giant of failure, not a giant of Africa. First thing, it is 24 hours light. Second one is a good load. Why? Because there are cars. Amen. Because the investors can never manage a loaf load to come to your country. The main world businessmen that are coming to invest in the country or the country that bring facility of development, there must be a very solid load. a very good load. Not this one you people bring. You see a government, the load that we walk, only just 2 years in learning season, the load will enter to another street. Water will carry a road somebody walk. The third one is security, because the investors can never stay in any country that they will invest their trillions without a security. Nigeria, they are never there with these threats. All our gears are in streets for prostitute because of hunger. We must die, but we must fight everything possible to bring a good country for our children to enjoy.
Our diversity is taken along with good governance, with everybody being included, inclusive society. Then we will get there. And not will we be respected, we will be counted among the leading nations of the world. By the year 2050, that's only 25 years from now, people like the Sultan, His Eminence, will be here. I'm not praying to be here 25 years from now. So you will have the problem of 400 million Nigerians that have to be provided with food, that have to be provided with work, employment, that have to be satisfied. And if we fail to prepare for that now, Boko Haram of today will be a child's play. We have to take care of it now.
He didn't go with Trump just threatened to invade Nigeria. He didn't go with sanctions. He didn't go with diplomacy. With American troops on the ground in one of Africa's largest countries. The threat came after years of escalating violence against Christians that the Nigerian government has failed to stop. Over 50,000 Christians dead since 2010. More than 7,000 killed in 2025 alone. And now, President Trump is saying enough is enough. Within 12 hours of the threat going public, Nigeria's government fired back. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu rejected Trump's characterization. But the numbers don't lie. The violence is real. The deaths are real. And the question facing Washington is whether Nigeria's failure to protect its Christian population justifies American intervention. Trump's post on Truth Social was blunt. He threatened to send US forces into Nigeria, guns a-blazing, to eliminate Islamic terrorists killing Christians. He ordered the Department of War to prepare for possible action. The target? Groups like Boko Haram and ISWAP that have been slaughtering Christian communities with impunity. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth backed the threat immediately. Either Nigeria protects Christians, or we will eliminate Islamic terrorists who commit atrocities. So what happens now that Trump has made this threat? Could American forces actually invade Nigeria to stop what some are calling a Christian genocide? And why is Trump willing to risk a major confrontation over violence that Nigeria's government has refused to stop for years? To understand why Trump's threat matters, you need to understand the scale of what's been happening to Christians in Nigeria, because the violence isn't some minor border skirmish. It's systematic, it's brutal, and it's been building for over a decade while the world largely ignored it. Since 2010, over 50,000 Christians have been killed in Nigeria by Islamist militant groups including Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Fulani militant. The attacks follow a horrific pattern. In June 2025, Fulani militants attacked the village of Yelwata, death toll estimates ranging between 100 and 200 people. Witnesses reported civilians burned alive, churches destroyed, women abducted and subjected to sexual violence. This wasn't combat, this was a massacre. And the Nigerian government's response? Largely ineffective. Repeated failures to protect Christian communities or hold perpetrators accountable have turned what started as isolated attacks into a crisis spreading through central and southern regions. Christian villages are being systematically targeted, churches are being burned, and Nigeria's security forces either can't or won't stop it. Trump's argument rests on this brutal reality.
Alright, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we'll bring you back-to-back update and information as well. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you will be the first to collect them. Alright, as it is, a lot of people are raising concern as regards what is happening in Nigeria currently. Recently, the President of America, Donald Trump, made a statement as how he is going to order Pentagon to take action as regards what is happening in Nigeria, the issue of the buying of Christians that is ongoing, that have displaced a lot of people and has made them homeless, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. And as it is, a lot of people have concurred with Trump. There has been an interview going around asking questions. What do people think about Trump's decision? Even though that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, has also made comment on that, stating that that America does not have that jurisdiction to interfere in another nation's sovereignty. That Nigeria is fully open for a relationship with America as long as America does not interfere in their sovereignty. But a lot of people are saying that what Trump said is good. People like Chukwemeka and the rest of them who are saying that the leaders we have in Africa are not leaders, especially the leaders we have in Nigeria that are not leaders, that they should not be mentioned as leaders or anything. But as it is right now, we are waiting to see what becomes the action of Donald Trump as he has given his concern over the buying of Christians in Nigeria. We are also waiting to see what Tinubu is going to do. But believe me, since after that particular information, there has been series of what do I call it? There has been series of positive news from the wing of the Nigerian army. There has been some news of where the army invaded, how they rescued kidnapped victims, how they did this and how they did that, how they were able to bust terrorist hideout and the rest of them. So the question the citizens and a lot of people are asking is, so army knew all these places before now, why weren't they acting before Trump's statement? Why were not they taking any action? But on the army side, they will tell you that they have been taking action, a lot of actions have been taken. But why is this rapid action within 24 hours or 48 hours
understand why Trump's threat matters, you need to understand the scale of what's been happening to Christians in Nigeria. Because the violence isn't some minor border skirmish. It's systematic, it's brutal, and it's been building for over a decade while the world largely ignored it. Since 2010, over 50,000 Christians have been killed in Nigeria by Islamist militant groups including Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Fulani militant. The attacks follow a horrific pattern. In June 2025, Fulani militants attacked the village of Yelwata. Death toll estimates ranging between 100 and 200 people. Witnesses reported civilians burned alive, churches destroyed, women abducted and subjected to sexual violence. This wasn't combat.